The silence following a breakup is rarely empty. It is a heavy, suffocating presence lingering in the corners of your room. You tell yourself it is over, that the bridge is burned and the ashes scattered. Yet a peculiar frequency in the air suggests otherwise. Sometimes the end isn't an ending at all, but an agonizing pause where the heart waits for pride to catch up. You might think she has moved on, her life a fortress you no longer have the key to, but human emotions are not light switches flicked off without residual warmth. There are echoes in the void, subtle shifts in the atmosphere whispering a truth. She isn't ready to speak out loud. If you look closely, beyond the static of your heartbreak, you will see the cracks in her resolve. She is navigating a labyrinth of regret and memory, and while her voice is silent, her actions are screaming. The journey back is never a straight line. It is a series of hesitant steps, a dance between the fear of rejection and the ache of absence. It begins with a ripple in the digital pond. You post a mundane update, a glimpse of a life no longer including her, and there she is, a name at the top of your viewer list, a ghost watching from the shadows. She doesn't like or comment, but she is there, witnessing your existence with a consistency defying logic. This isn't just curiosity, it is a tether. When a woman truly wants to be gone, she disappears into the mist, seeking no updates. But when she lingers in the digital periphery, she is keeping the window cracked open, afraid that closing it completely will make the air too thin to breathe. She is checking to see if the version of you she left still exists. This silent observation is the first quiet sign, a manifestation of the what if keeping her awake. She is looking for a reason to stay away, but finding reasons to remember. As weeks stretch into months, signs evolve into tangible ghosts. You might find yourself at a familiar coffee shop, and there she is, standing where you once shared a laugh. It feels like a coincidence, but in the realm of the heart, there are no accidents. She is frequenting places holding the scent of your history, trying to recapture the feeling of being near you without the vulnerability of an invitation. She is testing the waters of her nostalgia, seeing if the pain of the past is outweighed by the comfort of the familiar. When she shows up in your world unannounced, she isn't just crossing paths. She is crossing boundaries she set for herself. It is a strategic proximity, a silent plea for you to notice she hasn't entirely left the orbit of your life. She is waiting for the universe to force a collision because she is too terrified to orchestrate one herself. Then come the messages meaning nothing and everything. A link to a song you both loved, a photo of a stray dog reminding her of yours, or a simple "I saw this and thought of you." These are breadcrumbs of reconciliation, low-stakes offerings designed to test your temperature. She is gauging whether the door is locked or just closed, looking for a sign that your anger has cooled. These reach-outs are often devoid of depth, masked as casual friendship, but driven by a profound need for connection. She is reaching across the chasm she created, hoping you will reach back. It is a delicate game of emotional chess where every move minimizes the risk of a bruised ego. She mentions a memory not to reminisce, but to see if it still makes you smile. If it does, she knows the bridge is still standing. The weight of her absence shifts when she starts involving people at the edges of your life. Mutual friends become messengers of a subtle, unspoken inquiry. She asks how you are doing, but she wants to know if there is still a vacancy in your heart. She is mining for information, trying to reconstruct the puzzle of your new life without asking you for the pieces. This proxy checking is a sign of a woman, afraid of what she might find if she looks for herself. She is looking for signs of your growth and lingering attachment. If she hears you are thriving, it sparks pride and panic. Pride that the man she loved is strong, and panic that he might be strong enough to live without her. This indirect contact is a shield, keeping her intentions hidden while navigating her own regret. Perhaps the most haunting sign is the lingering of physical objects, relics of a shared existence she refuses to surrender. A forgotten sweatshirt, a book on the nightstand, or keys that should have been returned weeks ago. These aren't just items, they are anchors. As long as she holds on to a piece of your world, she hasn't fully committed to leaving it. She makes excuses for why she hasn't dropped them off, or suggests a meeting that never happens. This procrastination is a subconscious refusal to close the book. She is keeping the physical connection, alive because the emotional one is too painful to sever. Every time she sees that sweatshirt, she is reminded of the warmth it provided. It is a quiet, desperate clinging to a reality slipping through her fingers. A hope that as long as she has a reason to see you, there is still a chance for things to change. When the sun goes down, barriers she built begin to crumble. This is when late-night calls or sudden emotional texts arrive. Alcohol or exhaustion lowers the drawbridge of her pride, allowing the truth to spill out in fragmented sentences. She might talk about how hard things have been or apologize for things she never acknowledged. These moments of raw vulnerability are the truest indicators of her internal struggle. She is no longer the composed figure she pretends to be. She is a woman grappling with the consequences of a choice that no longer feels right. These outbursts are followed by silence as she retreats, embarrassed by her honesty. But the damage to her facade is done. You have seen the flickering light in the window, and you know she is still inside. Thinking of the way back home. As she gets closer to a decision, her tone changes. She becomes more reflective, willing to own her part in the collapse. She talks about what she has learned and the things she would do differently. This is the sound of a woman who has realized the grass wasn't greener on the other side. She is offering you a new version of herself, one that is wiser. This accountability is the final hurdle. It is the moment where pride is sacrificed for reconciliation. She is no longer making excuses. She is making amends. She is showing you she is ready to build something better on the ruins of the old. The final sign is the most quiet, a sudden, profound stillness. After the storm of reach-outs and late-night confessions, there is a pause. It is the silence of someone standing at a door, hand on the knob, taking one last breath. She has shown you everything without saying the words. She has marked the path and left the lights on. Now she is waiting. She is waiting to see if you have heard the things she didn't say. This stillness is not an ending. It is a climax. She is thinking of coming back, but needs to know the journey is worth the risk. It is in this silence that the real work happens. You realize the quietest signs are the loudest declarations. The door is open, and the silence is finally beginning to sound like a welcome. You just have to be brave enough to listen.